Hey y'all, I've got some new locks here. Some actual padlocks, and I actually have a master lock. This one is a combo lock, not a key one. It's brand new. I have opened it just to play with it before I decided to shoot the video. It is a new lock from Master Lock, or at least they still claim it is. It is a 875 DLF. This actually isn't a new style of lock for them. They've had dial locks before, but this is a kind of a remake. They had one that actually used a kind of a key to set the lock, set the combination. And the problem was everybody had always would lose the key. So this is Master Lock's answer to the long lost key, because you can set the combination without a key. You actually change the shackle around, turn it around, and pop it in and turn it sideways, and able to change the combination right there, and then flip it back and everything works. So this is what Master Lock calls a level 6. It looks like it's out of 10. I have really no idea what that scale means. It's just something arbitrary Master Lock made up. But the real reason why we're going to talk about this lock today is that there is a huge fault in this. There is a huge hack that you can actually, although it says there is 10,000 different combinations, if you know this hack, there's only 9 different combinations. Well, it's actually 0 through 9, so technically I guess there's only 10 different possible combinations, not 10,000. Now I'll show you what we mean right now. So let's go ahead and open it up here. There's the instructions to change the combination, but yeah, we don't need those. Here it is. Now the factory combination, I've got all the dials turned to 0. Like I said, I did open it, but I have not modified the lock in any way. I just opened it to play with it. So the factory combination comes preset to 0, and you can just pull the lock open. But what makes this lock really, really neat is on the very edge, there is a 1 and a 2 on the top. And what you do is you turn the shackle to 1, pop it in, and then twist it to 2, and then you can change the combination. So we could set the combination to, I guess right here on the edge is my serial number, but it's also 4 digits long. So I'm going to change the combination to my serial number. 1, I guess it's faster to go up. 8, 5, 8. 1, 8, 5, 8, which is the same as the serial. So now that I've changed the combination, I go to the back of the top of the lock, I twist it back to 1, and you can kind of feel the lock pop when that happens, and then you pull the shackle back out, push it in. Now the lock is set to 1858. Turn it to 2858, and nothing. So the reason why I actually still have these other locks out is one of the first things I noticed about this lock is it's very cheap feeling. Now, it almost feels like plastic. I do know it's metal, but it's so smooth. And I think that was a mistake by Master Lock. Because it's so smooth, it feels kind of cheap. Like this padlock is laminated. And when you feel it, it feels like steel. It's cold. It feels, I mean, this lock here, maybe they're about the same, maybe a little heavier. This is the Master one, laminated one. The shackle looks a lot bigger. Even the shackle on this one, let's open it back up. 1858. It feels kind of cheap. You know, and I just like the key ones too, because they kind of, listen to that snap. It sounds like a vault closing. I guess this does have a little snap to it. It's not as crisp feeling, and it's so light. I think they would have done better off to splatter painted it so it had a texture, and then just put a little weight to it. Maybe all these wheels weren't heavy. They're probably made out of some type of lightweight pot metal or something, but just to put a little weight to it so it feels like you had something substantial in your hands. I mean, this one here, this LSDA, it's solid brass. It's probably my heaviest lock out here. This is another Master Lock. The little Master logo has fallen off the bottom. As you can see, the key is definitely a Master Lock. I don't know. That was one of the first things when I opened it up before I started videoing is just, it felt kind of cheap. Yeah. But we all know it is kind of cheap, because I'm going to show you how to hack this lock in no time at all with no skill. I opened this lock and I immediately went to test the theory I saw. And here's the theory. So our combination is 1858. Now, we're going to turn one of these numbers to 2. So it should not open, and it does not. But just like our combination locks have gates, so do these wheels. They have gates. Here's a Mosler wheel pack. That gate lines up. And just like that gate lines up with the fence so that the combination can pull in on this combo lock, this has gates that run around that. And there's a fence that falls into those gates. So when all the gates are lined up, the padlock unlocks. Now, what makes these hackable is the fact that Master Lock said the combination gates. We want those gates to be really big. That way, if you're real sloppy and instead of setting it to a 1858, you set it to like maybe a 1.5. Maybe you leave the number like in the halfway point. We still want our padlock to open up, even though that you're halfway there. So they made the gate for that real sloppy, so it would give you extra amount of play in the key. Now what I mean by gates is there's also another gate for 2, but the gate isn't deep enough for you to actually open the lock. But they have to put gates in there. That way you can't just spin it till it stops spinning and then the door pops open. But because they made the gates at different wideness, you're able to pop this lock open. And let me show you what I mean. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put my fingers through the dial, and then I'm just going to squeeze the fingers and make it where the dial puts pressure on the lock. And then I'm going to try to wiggle this dial, this wheel here. See how there's very little wiggle to it? Now this is brand new, and this wheel is kind of slick, so it slides through my finger real easy. But notice how there's barely little wiggle. If you look at the line that runs through the lock right there to let you know where that's the opening line, when you wiggle that back, that line never passes the bottom of the two or to the top of the two. I mean, it basically stays all in there. See if I can get the camera to focus. So, it doesn't pass the bottom or the top. But look at how sloppy the one beside it is. See, not only does it go outside of the 8. Come on, focus. But there's so much more play. Let me see if I can find a toothpick here. Look at how much play is in that number. Now look at how much play is in that first number. I mean, it almost goes into the 7 part of the dial, into this crease. Look at this. It goes almost to the crease and then almost to the crease. This 2 barely wiggles back and forth. And that's why, and that's the hack for this lock. So let's set this lock to a combination that I do not know. 1, 8, 5, 8, right? It's the right combination. We're going to pop the lock open. We're going to flip it over to the top. We're going to go to the 1, push it in, and then we're going to twist it over to the 2. Now I'm in change mode. So what I'm going to do is face the lock away from me and just spin the dials. Spin all the dials together. Spin the first dial, second dial, third dial, and then the last dial. And I'm going to turn them back, and now I'm going to spin them all together again. I can't see this. I'm behind the camera over here. I believe that's shook up enough. Now I'm going to just kind of wiggle them back and forth. I want them to fall into a number. I don't want them to be halfway into a number. I'm just going to kind of wiggle them back and forth. All right, so we're going to go back to the 1, out, over, and when I lock this, I'm going to have no clue what the combination is. Now, I have no clue what the combination, but I haven't spun it off, so I can just reopen it. So let's push it down, face it away from me, and spin it off. We're going to spin them all off together. We're going to do just top dial, next one, next one, next one, and then we're going to spin them all off together. Now I've got a real problem because I have no clue what the combination is. Look at that. I did not almost completely set that to all 3s. Either way, I have no idea what the combination is. We're in real trouble here. Except for maybe we're not. So right now I have the dials set to 1, 3, 3, 3. So I'm going to stick my 2 fingers in between the lock, put a little pressure on it, and you could even do this without watching. I mean, the dials have so much movement in them, you can actually just do it by feel. Uh-oh. Nope, I don't think so. I don't think any of these are 3, or 1, 3, 3. So I'm going to relax my fingers and let me turn the dials one rotation. Now I'm going to do 2, 4, 4, 4. And I'm just going to wiggle them back. Oh, look at that one. Look at the play on that one. Almost all the way to that crack, and then almost to the next one. So guess what? That last number is definitely, oops, I'm not holding it enough. Maybe that's what the problem is. I'll turn that back to 4. I still have quite a bit of play, but I don't have a lot of play going back up. Got a little bit of play on the bottom, but not going back up. I don't think that's the combo. So we're going to turn it back down. I'm going to go over to the 3, 5, 5, 5. Fingers back in there, holding in the lock. Wiggling the wheels back and forth. Oh, there it is. All right, so now we know the last number is a 5. And that's definitely enough play for that to be the combination. So now we know our last number is a 5. And what we do, 2 rotations, and we've already found out 1 digit. So I'm going to roll the first number back to the 4, second number to the 6, 6, and I'm going to leave that last number alone because we already know that's a 5. So we're not going to change that. So I'm going to wiggle the 4 pretty tight. 6 is pretty tight. And then the 6 is pretty tight. All right, so now we're going to go to the next rotation. 5, 7, 7. Hold it. Nothing. 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 6, 8, 8. Nothing. 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 7, 9, 9. Leave that last one at 5. I like that 5. Uh-oh. There's a lot of movement in that first dial now. I think that our first number is 7 something something 5. Well, our second number is not a 9, and our third number is not a 9. So I'm going to leave the first one, and I'm just going to change the middle number, the 2 middle numbers, and we're going to leave this last one at a 5 because we know it's 7 something something 5. Put my finger back in there, wiggle it. Well, the 2 middle numbers are not a 0. So we're going to move them one more time. There we go. We still know our first number is a 7. Oh, look at that third number. Look at the play we have in that number. And then a 5. So we know our combination is 7 something 1 5. But I think we've already gone all the way around the dial. I think once we do a 2, that has to be our combination because that's the last number we haven't done yet. So I believe when I pull out on this lock, it's going to unlock. Looky there. So I'll show you how we did that. So let's go ahead. Our combination I spun it to was a 7 2 1 5. Now, imagine if you're in the dark and you would have to, this was on your shed, locked on your shed, and you're in the dark and you're trying to run the combination, but you can't see it because you've got a flashlight in one hand trying to do so you can see. You could almost just set the combination just by feel and open your lock just by feel. Let's do the combination one more time. I like doing this. It amazes me that it's this simple to hack this lock. Let's do it again. Oop, everything's upside down. 7 2 1 5. There we go. So let's change the combination. All right. So we pull out on the dial. It's unlocked. Spin it to the 1. Lock it. Spin it over to the 2. Change it. Not going to watch. I'm going to do the first number, second number, third number, and then the last number. I'm going to do the last number some more. Third, second, first. I'm going to try to spin a few of them there. There, I have no idea what the combination is. We're going to go back to the 1, pop the lock up, and let's lock it. But still unlocked, so let's spin it off. So we have no clue what the combination is. I'm going to do this last number here, this next one, next one, and let's try to do them all. Here, let's get it really scrambled. What do we got here? Combination dials are turned to 7862. So let's start right there. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. None of those. Eight, 9, 7, 3. Oh, look at that. Already I found the first number in the combination. Look at the play in that one. Here, let's see if I can do them both at the same time. Look at the difference in the play. 9 barely moves. But this first number, it rotates almost all the way through the whole 8. 9 barely moves. Oh, look at the second number. We got the second number already too. Look at that. Don't have the last. So we've got the first number of the combination is an 8, then unknown, a 7, and then an unknown. So we're only going to change the middle dial, the second dial, and the last dial. I almost forgot which one was we knew. All that play. Uh-oh, looky there. Let's check. I think that's it too. I think we have all but one number of the combination already. Look how fast that has gone. First number, we got tons of play. Second number, we have tons of play. Third number, we have tons of play. Last number, we have almost no play. So we're just going to turn the last dial. Look at how fast we've done this so far. No play in the last dial. We're going to go just one more. No play. I'm going to go one more. No play. One more. Nine. Oops. Wasn't holding it out hard enough. Trying to remember what number we started off on. Oh, looky there. It's unlocked. 8071. That is amazing. This is a master lock. Opened it today. Just got it in the mail just before I started this. Tough under fire. 875 DLF. Better cut resistance. Better weather resistance. Anti-shim. Well, I'm glad they made it anti-shim. It would be a shame if I could shim the lock open. Let's see if we can read this. Set your own combination of a simple shackle rotation. No tools required. I'm glad we don't need our change tool anymore. 4 dials allow up to 10,000 possible combinations. I claim there's only 10, if you know how to hack the lock. Dead locking shackle for maximum protection. Okay, I like this one. Maximum protection against pick, pry, shim. Does it say wrap attacks? I guess Eminem won't be able to open this one. Sealed shackle for increased weather protection. Cut resistant shackle. Now, why on earth would anybody try to cut this shackle open when all you have to do is watch this YouTube video? $8071. Zero, 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 zero. Well, I'm back. So, interesting story. If you take all these videos on your phone and never delete the videos, when your phone will fill up, it'll just stop recording on you mid-sentence. Well, either way, that's this video, basically the end of the video. It's, I don't know really what Master Lock was thinking when they released this. I knew they were trying to do some good. The older combo lock was easy shimmed. There was a tool you could slip in right through this dial and pop it open. There's a couple things you could actually shim around the shackle here and stuff. So this was their answer to fix all their issues, and well, they did a really good job fixing all their issues. So hey, if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, this was a video of the 875 DLF. You guys have a fantastic day.